Very often, you will find that you'll have a symbol that doesn't really need a symbol. You just want to call it a big box that connects one object to a relational object. For example, I have a big terminal strip, and I don't want to show the connection dots. I want to show a big box that everything's connected to. We call that a black box symbol. So on your schematic tab, you can insert a black box, pick a default symbol type of the black box, and I'll just kind of click somewhere on my screen like so, and it will let me stretch it to size. It will ask me for the root number, so I'm going to call this T3 because back on my single line diagram I already called out a terminal strip and I can associate it with it. In this case, this is a transformer. And look at what it did. If I were to zoom in on this, it's automatically formed connection points over the wires that I drew the box over and labeled them appropriately. If I right-click the black box symbol and go to its properties, you'll notice that it had a part number already associated with it. It created black box type terminals and automatically added terminal numbers for me. If I look at the properties of that Schneider Electric part, I can see that it's calling out 12 already because that's what this part number needed. So black box symbols are extremely powerful types of objects. I'll do it again, another transformer and like an inline one like this, but perhaps I don't want to show the default symbol for it. I'll go ahead and insert the black box symbol again, draw it to size, tell it to be associated. In this case, I know I have something called V2 back on my single line diagram, the power supply type device. And there it is. Now, if you really want to show it with this type of symbol instead, if I go to the Open Symbol button here, let me get the name of it. It's a single phase power supply. Close that out. Maybe I want to use that instead. So I can right-click the symbol and replace it. And I'll just do the selected only. And I can go in and look for a type of symbol to replace it with. Now you'll notice that it won't let me select anything other than a black box type object. So that's one of the limitations that you're going to encounter. If you want to replace a symbol with another symbol, you can't switch the type of symbol it is. Watch this, it's going to be really easy. I'm going to click this symbol, delete it with the delete button on the keyboard, select this symbol, do a Windows copy, Control C, or certainly a right-click copy, and a right-click paste. And I can just drop it on however I see fit. It's calling it out as V4, but really I want it to be V2 because it just knew 4 was the next available one. I'll just associate it with V2. So there's multiple ways of going out and swapping objects out. If I zoom in over here and drop in a brand new black box, I'll just call it out as Y1. You can move it around. You can resize it any time. Draw wires right across it. So let's say I want to draw 3 wires across, like that. Maybe a few more coming down. You can get the black box symbol to adopt these wires by right-clicking the black box symbol and choosing Update Black Box. And look what it did. It added all our numbering for us. You can add connection points manually by right-clicking on the black box and just dropping them on wherever you see fit, wherever you have a connection point. If you go to the symbol properties, you'll notice that we have, under the Manufacturer Parts and Circuits tab, a list of the circuits in red because they're not used by any manufacturer part yet. And you can certainly edit the terminals at any point in time. Let's say if you want to select them all. Go to the Edit Terminals button, and you can edit the names and utilization. Maximum wire number checks can be added here as well. So you can create these really advanced symbols on the fly.